Now, Tom O'Brien.
Tom O'Brien, we've got him on the phone, and he's out in Denver, I believe. How you doing, Tom?
Hey, Dave. How you doing, man?
Another day in paradise, and you know I'm happy today.
No doubt.
We're going to talk about that later in the show, but we've got some big movements out here in the market, and I guess you're calling in to talk about that.
So, what is the volume coming in at?
I, of course, look at the consolidated New York Stock Exchange tape, which is different than what you normally quote on the TV. But it's 2.6 billion shares, which is absolutely nothing. It is barely more than we had yesterday, and we were closed for most of the day. So volume excruciatingly light out here. We closed at 1663 on the S&P cash, and it is just that's got to be very, very light volume for this push. And
no, it is, because so the ABC down still in effect in the S&P, because what you have there, folks, is the 1659 was the bottom of the 15th of August. Monster volume. You're coming into it with nothing. So bottom line is that you get a push with lighter volume.
I'd like to have seen 3.6 to 3.8 billion shares on the consolidated tape. So and 2.6. So 30% less, 40% less, something like that. So very light.
Did the gold? I saw that gold was at $25. So the gold equities, do they have any juice behind them?
I didn't look at the gold equities themselves. Gold did close out here at 13. Well, it's printing out now 1396.60. So, and we looked at a few of them. They had a little bit. I didn't see a lot of volume in it, but I didn't get a chance to look at them for the last hour. So I'd have to go back and check them. GLD came in with 11.2 million shares. So that'll give you a little bit of idea, at least on the ETFs, how those came out. In fact,
that's going to get 59 million on the downdraft from April.
It looked very,
that's still not enough juice.
It looked very light to me. In fact, let me pop that up real quick, and we will take a look at it.
So the bonds rejected their low yesterday. So the bonds went topside, right?
Yes, on at least on the TLT. I popped it up in the Art of Timing the Trade charts out here, and for the last 3 days down, we've got a ski slope down in the GLD volume. So there's very, very light. You're right into the bottom of that gap. That gap came down on the looks like June 7th.
Okay.
And what did that come down on? 11 million shares, so kind of back up to that, but just not a lot of juice out here. So I can see we're right up at that gap, which was that kind of consolidation congestion zone that lasted from about the middle of May to the first week of June. And we're right into that.
And when you actually go back, it's a little bit. It's the April downdraft that is really the problem. Well, it's not the problem. That's the huge supply line.
Right. Which is
that big downdraft in April is the number that it'll just take a few times to get through. That's what we're going to come down to.
Yeah, it's not going to blow through. It's going to chew through.
Right. Totally. You know, it's pretty cool. Now I'm doing a real estate presentation out here tomorrow, but where you're calling me right now, and I'm at a lumber mill in Colorado, and what I wanted to check out before the presentation's tomorrow, but I had to fly out here this morning anyway. So what they have, and this is pretty cool, folks. What happened in Colorado, unfortunately, is that the beetle kill has killed a huge amount of trees, and I wanted to see exactly what this lumber was like, to see whether we could actually use it back in Florida. I've been out here for about an hour and a half right now. I'm telling you, it's pretty cool. It's amazing what nature can do. So what ended up happening with this wood is that the beetles got in the middle of it, killed everything. The forest, U.S. Forest Service wants it out of there, and there's just millions and millions of planks of it. But it's beautiful wood, man. I'm still trying to figure
it was a big problem in the last, I don't know.
It's a huge problem. So watch what happened, though. It was pretty amazing with nature. So when the beetles got in the middle of it, when you actually bring the wood down and then you sand it out, there's this beautiful blue that comes through the wood. And there's different, of course, first, second, third, meaning A, B, C, of how nice the wood is. But it's really interesting, man. So I'm going to just play with this idea a little.
It is interesting because I used to ride motorcycles, and they have a huge motorcycle park just on the east side of Tampa. Someone donated thousands and thousands and thousands of acres out there just to ride motorcycles. And for years, the forestry department would go in there and cut those trees down, trying to get rid of it. And the bugs would leave. It looked more like a spider web. But those beetles get in there, and you could see that like spider web stuff off of all of them, and the trees were dying, and it would just continue to. And the only thing you can do apparently is go in and cut them all down and wait for the beetles to die.
Man, I'm telling you, the amazing part about it is that wood's wicked expensive. So to cut down costs and have beautiful wood, man, it's a good scene, man.
I guess there's two places where that pine and really soft, fast-growing woods grow very well. One is down here in Florida, and the other is kind of in that area you're at right now.
Yeah, and then there's another one. Now, I haven't been up here for a long time, but the next time I go up to Alaska, you know what Alaska has? Alaska has this yellow pine that you can get expensively. That's absolutely beautiful. That'll be a little bit too far to bring it into, but we'll see what happens here. But it's intriguing because wood. When we're buying wood, man, wood's so expensive it's insane. Yeah, so tell me, what was the good news with you?
Bomber's out at Microsoft.
Oh, I was thinking about you. That's so funny. No, you're right. Oh, that is so funny because David and I have talked about that so much. You have talked about it so much. I was saying, okay, it's so funny when I was on the plane this morning. I saw that. You're the first one I thought about. Oh, that cracks me up, man.
We've been talking about it for some time, and you're going to be with us through the first segment. But at the bottom of the hour, I'm going to talk about what makes a good CEO and what we can learn from his tenure. Of course, when he took hold of Microsoft, it had a cap of $600 billion on January of 2000. Yesterday at the close, it had a cap of $275 billion. So for the 13 years that he's run the show out there, he's never really been able to bring it back to its former glory of the high of 2000.
Yeah, that was the peak, too. Anyway, for Microsoft, right? They had a monopoly. Then the Justice Department came after. But I understand what you're saying. He didn't shift. I guess they had so much to defend. He didn't shift. Whether it was on the cloud or social, and because everything definitely has changed so quick. There's no two ways about it. Everything is mobile. When I'm looking, it blows my mind. Between the markets, talking to you, looking, I found this mill through Google on my cell phone. I get out here. I said, okay, I got to go to the first mill that's not too far outside of Denver. And all I did, I pulled up beetle kill wood, and bang, there's a mill about an hour away from the, so it's an actual mill. That's what I wanted, because I wanted to see how they mill it also. But Google's going to take over the world, I think.
They certainly are. Did you know? Remember we were talking a little while ago that they bought a company. On Google News, if you are in certain areas, not down here in Florida yet, but they bought a company about 3 or 4 months ago that was all about social maps. I don't know if you remember that part, but it was like AWAS. Actually, they started rolling that out now. So if you put in there that there's a accident or there's a backup on Route 5 or, there's cops out here.
I remember you talking about this, yes.
They just rolled that out on Wednesday also. So that you're now I think in San Francisco and L.A., that's where they started it. And they say in the next 3 months it'll be all over the country. But I think it was called WAS.
Yeah, that's what you just told me. Hey, listen, what do you think? Where's Microsoft going to go? Who do you think? How is this going to work out, do you think?
Well, I'm going to probably talk about this in depth, but right now, the prime leader and most likely to succeed if it's internally is a gal called Julie Larson Green. I've got a slide up here on the screen right now. And we're going to break here right now. You want to hang on and talk a little more in the next segment?
No, that's all right. I gotta go do this wood deal.
Okay.
They close. The reason is they're gonna close at 3:00. So
okay.
I gotta get this. Okay, man. Listen, you have a great weekend. Folks, have a great weekend. Safe weekend. Look forward to speaking to you on Monday.
You bet.
Okay.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi. I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Tom takes your phone calls now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And as we Come back. This is Dave White sitting in for the one and only Tom O'Brien. Normally on Friday we talk technology and what's going on. Actually, this time of year is very, very quiet. Especially in technology and on Wall Street. We saw a very light volume today. I suspect we're probably going to see that light volume continue into next week. Normally, vacations for Wall Street are over by then. Volume really comes back strongly in September, and we'll have to see how that goes. But pretty quiet in technology, pretty quiet in the market. Also, of course, the big news, if you're a gold bug out here, is that we got a $26 bounce in gold up to $13.9680. In other news of technology, of course, Apple's still a huge percentage of the NASDAQ, so we have to watch what's going on in that. Carl Icahn is become one of the operators of a stock. If you're unfamiliar with that term, in about 1933 or 34, 35, what some people believe is the world's greatest trader, Jesse Livermore, had a book penned that was a thinly veiled reflection of his actual life, and talking about being a manipulator of stocks. Those people are called operators in the business. And of course, Carl Icahn is right now the biggest operator that we've probably seen in since probably the gold operation of the Hunt brothers back in, 87, or it was actually the silver. They tried to corner the silver market. But, we see those kind of trading places guys in movies, and you wonder what they're really like. The problem's been that there have been very few people that have the kind of money that is theirs, that are impervious to outside influences. If you run one of these companies and someone does something you don't like, of course, people can leave funds. But Carl Icahn is one of these traders that it's all his own money. There's nothing you can do to him unless he breaks the law, which he's not going to do, I don't believe. Everything he is doing is high and above board. He likes to find companies with huge short positions, start buying those companies up, encourage those companies to go out and rebuy their own stock. Now, what Carl Icahn actually said today was that he's going to be calling the CEO of Apple and start talking to him about whether or not they need to do more buybacks. I've got a picture. If you're listening on radio, you're not going to see it, but it's kind of a picture of the Godfather, because we now have somebody that can universally move stocks, and at the same time has $30 billion of his own funds to go back and do things. We've seen what happens to people that don't do what he likes, and that's Michael Dell. He can make life hell for you. I suspect that Michael Dell was just that. He was a sacrificial lamb to show that he was going into that kind of operation now, where it is going to be a no kind of prisoner, and a offer you can't refuse, either your signature on the bottom of that line or your brains, if you remember the movie. But of course, he's calling and saying, okay, we're going to discuss in a week or two in September what they're going to do again for more share buybacks. That's, of course, the Apple itself actually went to its projection. If you follow at us at TFNN, in fact, I was doing it during my show there today. It had gone right to the Confluence numbers within 70 cents of it. I think they came in at 5.14. Let me go ahead and pull that up so we can actually show it. Hang on just a second. There we go. And I just need to do a few things. Retracement. There we go. And a few times down. Okay. I'm going to put it up here for everybody in the den. But a very teachable moment. This went right up to where it was supposed to, within 40 cents. Confluence is the agreement of two Fibonacci retracements. If you don't know what Confluence is, you can go to TFNN and look for the Art of Timing the Trade Charts. There's a few videos that explain it, but just find the one that talks about Confluence, and you'll get a little bit more into it. But this thing pretty much gone up and hit what was expected of it technically. Now we've got Carl Icahn really moving in the background and jawboning the stock to go higher. And of course, he's basically saying, Steve, that it's going to be time for you to buy back some more shares. Of course, Apple, this nice big run has not been alone without Apple rebuying their shares. And they said that they came out at the last earnings meeting and said that previous earnings meeting, said that they were going to buy 10 million shares back. They ended up buying 35 million shares back. And that's, I think you can say some of the move in Apple is directly attributed to that. Carl Icahn is in the stock in a big way. I think he's got maybe $1 billion or something. I have to go check it out. He's got a lot of money in this stock. And, of course, he's going to want to drive that stock up. And part of it can be jawboning. And you jawbone by coming out in social media like Icahn. But it is one of those things that you have to be very aware of. It is 10% of the NASDAQ. And why I bring it up, with a seasoned operator, I think Carl Icahn's, 78 years old. It is what it is. But it is up against this area. You want to look for anything above a 514 as a sign that this could go higher. The question is always, when these operators leave, what they leave back. These are not investors. They are short-term plays. And what I'm saying, a short-term play for Carl Icahn could be 6 months to a year. And he basically looks for short squeezes. Of course, Apple's not a horrible company or one that's going to go bankrupt anytime soon. They had at one time $160 billion before they put back in almost $20 billion in buying back their stock. So it is going to be an issue in this, and we are going to have market manipulation. Manipulation does not mean it was illegal. It only means that he's got as an elephant, you can go in and make a lot of waves when you jump into the pool. But I wanted to talk about that a little bit because he has now got a reputation that can move markets, and we need to be aware of that in things like that. So keep an eye on it. But if you are familiar with Tom's book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Confluence is in here. And if you really want to look at this, it's a prime example of what you can get. And this is a market where we've had a lot of stocks pull back like this, gold stocks, and technical stocks, or tech stocks too, like Apple. And you can get a good idea where these stocks are coming back to, and take a look at that. But we're going to be going to the break here for a minute. When we come back, I'm going to talk about what we can learn from CEOs that have been very good, and those CEOs that haven't had such a great run, like Steve Ballmer from Microsoft. So we're going to talk about that when we come back, and that's pretty much it. You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. I appreciate your call if you're talking about tech stocks today.
Hi, this is Allie Ford here to tell you about an amazing opportunity. If you love yoga and meditation, want to know more about these age-old healing practices, or perhaps even change careers, join me at White Orchid Yoga in Clearwater, Florida this October for Tampa Bay's premier 200-hour yoga teacher training program. You'll learn about the vast and fascinating history of yoga and about the many facets of yoga practice, including asana or physical postures, pranayama, breath control, meditation, and Sanskrit chanting. And in just 4 weeks, you'll earn your 200-hour registered yoga teacher certificate with Yoga Alliance. This is a unique and wonderful opportunity to immerse yourself in yoga studies. And if yoga teaching is your goal, you'll learn to do so safely, effectively, and confidently. Visit AllieFord.com for more information. Join me for yoga teacher training and create a life you love.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing